And it says, we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's Thursday night. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light up my baby. Let's try that again. There you go. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Hope you guys have been having a great week. We are kind of battening down the hatches, so to speak, with somewhere between 80 to 100 millimeters of rain. Significant amount. I think it's Tropical Storm Oscar or something like that. Anyway, I have bus duty tomorrow morning in all that rain. Yay. But hopefully tonight will be a good night. And to anybody who went to New York Comic Con last week, I hope you had fun. We'll talk about some of the images and some of the news coming out of that. Anybody who is headed to Baltimore for TFCon this weekend, I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like. I don't know if it's expensive. I don't know if it's cheap. I don't know if it's fun. I don't know anything about it, but you know what? I hope that you have a blast if you're headed there. Let me just get everything sort of prepared here for myself. And then I will start checking in with you guys. How is that? Yeah, actually. Yeah, there we go. Let's start checking with you guys. Hey, Master Fire, I believe you went to NYCC last week, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of the devil, right? Hey, Dragonfly, Waspinator, Joel, happy to see you. Hey, Marcus, Mike, Lion. Got T30 Springer today. Happy with the 86 version, but I keep hearing everyone rave about the mold. The 86 or the Generation Springer is fantastic. And you have to remember, like, again, like a lot of people will say, like, I like the 86. And that's great. So do I. But keep in mind that when you are looking at the generations, keep in mind that was a Voyager, not a leader, right? Look at what you get now for a leader. Look at what you got then in a decade ago for a Voyager. Just saying. He's tremendous. Enjoy. Hey, Heathen. Yeah, I'll stay. I mean, I'll stay as safe as you can with all that rain. I mean, such is life, right? Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, it's not going to be a fun morning. I have no doubt. In my mind. Hey, Omega. I'm waiting for a physical DVD release of one because I support physical media. Me too. I own every movie. I own most of the shows, to be honest with you, on physical media. And undoubtedly, I will. I mean, one is the best that they did, so undoubtedly I'm going to get one. Hey, Alice. I want some chicken and rice tonight. It's funny. We had that actually last night. Chicken, rice, egg roll. It was good. It was delicious, actually. Just got Legacy Slipstream. What? It's out? Heck, if I knew. I mean, again, you talk about the difference in the US and Canada. The earliest I've seen releases for that wave is January, February, something like that. So good for you, I guess. I can't speak to it. I don't know the mold. I know it's the Windblade mold. I've heard great things about it. Don't know. Didn't even know that wave was out. But you know what? Enjoy, my man. Got Straxus, Flame, and Zeron had to get from Australia, but was cheaper than eBay. Crazy. That's crazy, though, that we have to do that. Pre-ordered the 4K Steelbook, and you know what? A lot of people have gotten the Steelbook. Good on you. Good on you. I'll be cracking into 86 Optimus and Swoop tomorrow. Oh, what a way to kick off your weekend. Both of them are excellent. I hope you don't end up with like QC problems and stuff. Swoops, really, it's only that chest, but I swear, even though it didn't work in the review, if you give it like an extra nudge and an extra squeeze after, it holds better. 86 Optimus is magnificent. But I've heard, man, I keep hearing more and more QC issues with them, from the misaligned Autobot logo to, of course, we know the heel issue, to missing paint app on the heel, to there was another one that surprised me. I don't remember now. If I think on it, I will tell you. And I saw just earlier today, there's somebody designed a 3D version of the Megatron arm with the cannon from Skybound and switched it out with the Optimus arm, and it actually still transforms. It's pretty cool, but of course that's 3D printed, right? But pretty cool. Honestly though, both of those Waspinator, excellent. Have fun tomorrow. Finally got Swoop last week. I love Swoop. I thought that Swoop turned out really, really, really good. I really like it. I don't even want to say issue. The only thing that I find with Swoop is there's a little gold tab on his bird head that fits into like a spot like up on his crown. And I do find trying to pick that back off to go back to robot mode can be a little bit of a chore. So just be careful with that tab is all I would say. Hey, I appreciate D-Dog. Finally got my Swoop last week. Hey, Grimlock on. Haven't had the chance to mess with him yet, but he seems good. I went down there. The only new studio series I plan to pick up is Hatchet. Me too. But we'll talk about that. Skywarp to complete my Seeker trio, and maybe Double Punch. Galvatron is going to be a pass for me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Bad cold is never fun. Never fun. I can appreciate that. TF1 has started a bit of a worldwide push. We'll talk a little. Well, you know what? Let's talk about that now. So the magic number for Transformers 1 is $150 million. That's what's been stated in order to kind of get to what they want for their profitability, to get to what they want to greenlight a sequel. The magic number is $150 million. Current profits sit at $119.2 million. There's still some countries that it has to open in. Of course, we're now starting to get the streaming and like physical copies. We'll see, what that pans out between now and the holiday season. But right now it's teetering at 120. We only got 30 million to go. Hopefully it will get that, because man, oh man, does this need to be greenlit. I mean, it's just that good. And the funny thing is, I think as negative as people were in the beginning, which did not help it, it's so funny because I'm seeing such a love for it after people go see it. They're like, oh my God, go see this. It doesn't matter the country. Everyone's saying the same thing. Go see it. I was talking to some guy, by the way. I'll mention this now, and I don't want to call him by name. And he kept talking about how he didn't want to see it because it was like made by AI. And he talked about something called Autodesk or something. I don't know what he's talking about. But wherever he got his information, it's not true. I asked him for sources, and he was like, I'm not doing the legwork for you. In other words, it's not true. ILM, along with other animators, did it. In fact, there was an entire kind of interview that went up with like the designer and stuff, where there's a lot of stuff on Instagram and YouTube that covers the artists and the artwork that they did. So it's not the art. So I thought maybe it's the story, but like that makes no sense, because there are 3 writers. 2 of them came up with the story idea from the writer's room, and the third one, who helped redefine and edit and clean up the screenplay, is I can't remember his first name now. Pearson, I think, is his last name, but he is one of the writers for several MCU movies. So that's not done by AI. No, this is not an AI film. The misinformation really, really hurts stuff, man. So I don't know where he got his information from. I asked for sources. He didn't provide any. If somebody can provide sources to what they're saying, then I don't take anything they say with any value. Back up what you're saying, right? We'll talk about some more later on, but like back up what you're saying. If you're going to make a statement and you are making a statement that it's facts, then you need sources. You need something, you need evidence to back it up. Your opinion, my opinion. Opinions aren't facts. Opinions are opinions. That's why they're opinions, right? Facts are facts. Fact. It's been stated by Lorenzo and by Josh that the magic number is 150 million. That's been stated by both of them. Fact. It currently stands at 119.2 million. You can look this stuff up. It's very easy to find. If something's a fact, you can usually Google it pretty easy, right? I'm just saying. So we're still a little ways away. Let's hope we get there for those of us that appreciate good storytelling, I guess. Hey, input. Toy Hacks does wonders for 86 Cyclonus, or sorry, 86 Optimus. If you say so, I don't think 86 Optimus needs anything. I've seen the Toy Hacks. I'm not a fan of stickers. I don't find them easy to put on. I put one sticker on Blaster. I was talking to, I think it was Sovereign, and it was the sticker on his buttons. That took me 40 minutes to put on that one sticker. And then even now, it's still not quite stuck on the way I'd like for it to. I don't really like it. And I've seen the Optimus set. I don't really like the Optimus set. The way it is perfect. I can't say it does wonders. I can't. It's a set. If you like it, cool, get it. But I look at it, I'm like, why are you ruining something that was already perfect? But that's just me. I'm not a Toy Hacks guy. To each their own. I'm not really a Toy Hacks guy. Got Legacy, Slipstream, and Quake. That's crazy that you guys are getting that stuff. It's not due here until 2025. Like, I'm going to tell you now, that stuff will not be included in the best, worst of, unless they really get pushed up, and unless I bother to buy them. They're not going to be included in my 2024 best and worst list because they're not due to be released here until 2025. Should I get Legacy Hotshot? Have no idea. I wouldn't be able to help you with that one, Master Fire. I never got it. I'm not you know me, I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy. I've heard it's really similar to the original with some articulation improvements. Though I've heard that there aren't as many articulation improvements as you would think. I've also heard that the arms are weird on it. But again, all of this that I'm telling you is hearsay. And honestly, I'm the wrong guy to ask because I don't know the mold. When will we get individual releases of Earthrise, Skywarp, and Thundercracker? They're very hard to find and going for outrageous prices on the aftermarket. I wouldn't hold my breath. I haven't heard anything about them being released. I would like to think before they would release those that they would probably re-release Thrust. However, that said, because that Earthrise pack was also very rare, one would hope that they will re-release them for people who wanted them. I can remember when that set came out, I saw one case of 8 at Toys R Us that sold quickly. And then I saw one more case of 8 in our entire province. And our province is an island and a section that's part of the mainland, meaning connected to the rest of Canada. In all of that section connected to the rest of Canada and our island, there's one Toys R Us. That was a Toys R Us exclusive pack, which means the 16 that I saw all together was it for our entire province. I was lucky enough to get one set, and I actually picked up a set and took it to the West Coast the weekend we got Tessa and dropped it off to a guy out there on the West Coast, right across our province, because otherwise there was no way he was going to be able to get it. It was impossible for him to be able to get it. So he got it because I was able to do that for him. Fun fact, his actually had a Skywarp that didn't have the screaming face. It had the normal face. Kind of wish I kept that set for myself. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, Omega, but you would think that they will get around to it. I would hope that they will get around to it. Hey, Big M. Hey, Matt. My pile of loot got Slipstream. BBTS have a few others that weren't slated to be out until January 25. Interesting. Okay, so some places I guess are starting to get them a bit early. Neat. I want the Skybound comics to be adapted into a show. I mean, they have never done that with the comics in the past. However, that said, maybe eventually. We'll see. Wow, that really jumped down there. Sorry, guys. Um, where am I here? Here. My swoop clicks nicely together. Good. I'm glad to hear it. But once clicked, you have to really put some pressure, or else the chest splits. Yes, that's what I said. Like, give it another push, right? Um, let's see. So D-Dog says Master Fire, if you don't have the old one, they're too similar. So apparently it's very similar to the original. Um, Going lines going to TF Con. I'm saving money for my last haul. Good luck with that. Um, oh, I'm so close to that 8K too. You're right, Matt. Hey, Frankenstein. Freakenstein? Ooh, Freakenstein. I like that. I'm planning to go to what? To one with the family next weekend. Only two I want are Skywarp and the Scorpion. As we go down here a bit. While the movie's streaming already, when some countries have, I agree, Francis. It's wild that one is streaming in like North America and some countries haven't had it released yet. It's a weird release, but maybe staggering it is a good thing because it keeps it fresh. I don't know. It's interesting though. They need to restart it all. I'm sorry, I did not like it at all. Then you need to watch it again because it's the best Transformers film they've ever done, and it's a fantastic film. Just excellent storytelling all around. There's literally nothing to dislike about it. If you didn't like it, then you must have went in with a bad attitude. I'm not getting into it. Me and Matt have already argued about it, but I stand by vehemently what I've said. It is the direction Transformers has to go to survive. Hasbro didn't even try with the 86 Galvatron. We're going to talk about that in a bit. What do you think about the new voice of Optimus Prime? I, I've already talked about all of this. I think Hemsworth did a great job. I don't know if it's necessarily the Optimus, but I think that his voice has a strength to it, and I can get behind it. When he gave the whole Optimus, what's the word I'm looking for? Speech, trying to, rally the troops, so to speak. I was like, man, I'd follow that guy. I would follow that guy. Pre-ordered Omega Supreme. So BBTS put up a pre-order for Omega Supreme. Cool, I guess. It's the Siege Omega Supreme. I think it's 299 US now, something like that. It was some weird number that I'm like, really? That surprised me. Maybe that was Canadian though. Maybe it's 199 US and 299 Canadian. Maybe that's what it is. Expensive, higher than what it was originally, but I did review it. My Omega Supreme is the Wei Jiang Ultimate Guard, but if you don't have an Omega Supreme, do yourself a favor, get the Siege. It is really, really, really excellent. It's a great version of Omega Supreme. I don't think you would be disappointed. Hey, Boss Gunny. AI is not that advanced. No, AI is not that. AI is that advanced, depending on the country you're in and what it's being used for. But I don't think it's advanced enough to be able to do that yet. It's getting there though, and that's the danger. I'm not amazed by it. I find it terrifying personally. Yeah. Matt and Freakenstein. I don't understand you guys. You both must have went in with bad attitudes. I'm not gonna argue about it, but panning the way the franchise has to go is not helping anything. You're only going to help bury something that's already limping along. If you don't have nothing good to say about it, just don't talk about it, because I can guarantee you are the only two that I've heard say anything negative about it. That's it, man. And I'm not trying to attack, but like, you're wrong. You're objectively wrong. I'm sorry. Subjectively, feel how you like, but objectively, it is what it is. Subjectively, you're told what you like. Subjectively, 86 is my favorite. Just saying. But I can accept that it's not good storytelling. Do your own research is code for please don't Google this. That's right. And I went and I Googled it and I found nothing, by the way. Even if you showed that person the actual evidence, they will probably deny. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. They have not, you're right, they have not officially confirmed the budget, and you're saying 75 to 125. Actually, I've heard a broader range than that. I've heard 76 to 147. So I don't know exactly what the budget was, but I know the magic number for profit that they've been saying is 150 million. Make of that what you will. I really have stopped buying Hasbro and have about 4,000 Transformers. I'm sick of the toys that fall apart right out of the box and really cheap packaging, super high prices. You're not wrong. That I will agree with you on. Absolutely will agree with you on that. Hope we get a Nemesis Prime from the 86. I mean, they probably will. I'm sticking with the Earthrise one. I don't need to spend another 100. Like, here's the thing. I'm not spending another $130 on Optimus Prime repaints. Like, it's not happening. That's insane. I have better things to spend my money on. I'm just not doing it. I need to get toy hacks for Legacy Sideburn because he needs them. If you say so, again, wouldn't know. Not into Sideburn. I mean, I got him, but like, I'm not nitpicking him enough. I don't think he needs them. Like, I'm just not that invested. But if you are, then get it, I guess. It's gonna be a hard sell to get me to say, yeah, toy hacks make something better. I don't usually find it does. Sorry. I know that that's an unpopular opinion, and I accept that that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't find that most of the time they make things better. Why does Canada have later release dates than for toys? No idea. Good question, Omega. We've asked the same thing for decades, especially when there's a Hasbro Canada. Like, I don't understand why we are so much later. No idea. Cybertron Legacy Hotshot is nice. I wish people would open their eyes and stop accepting poor attempts and bad movies. Me too. And I also wish people would open their eyes and realize that the best is Transformers 1. By far the best. By far the best. And I don't know why I keep having this conversation every week. Did you see the guy who took the 86 Prime and gave him a pen mode? No, I did not. That's weird, though. Interesting, but weird. Yeah, Toy Hacks is rough. Okay, let's get into the news because we've been here and I've gone through a whole bunch of stuff and we haven't even started the news because you guys are busy tonight. Let's start with this. Boom. So we talked about this last week, and I know, as I said, nothing about it, but I do know this week enough to be able. Hold on. I got to find it. I do know enough this week to be able to say that this is the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. So we talked about what the ship was last week. You guys said the season 3 one. And this is from New York Comic Con, and like, I think it looks neat. But I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't know Star Wars. I understand the criticisms if people don't like it. I get it. But like, it looks like it's a lot of detail. It looks like it's based on the G-Axis Vector Prime mold, which I think is a tremendous mold. I don't know if this is accurate to the character. I don't know if he's this gray. Is this the Mandalorian? I don't know. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying it because I just legitimately don't know. But as an impartial observer who doesn't have a dog in this fight, I think that this looks pretty neat. You know, I'm not really a crossover guy, but I think this looks neat. That cockpit section up front there looks a bit odd, though. Like, I don't know if that's the way that thing is supposed to look or not. But, I mean, I guess I don't hate it for what it is. But that's not all that was at New York Comic Con. No. We also had this stuff. Yeah, look at that gigantic Jetwing Optimus Prime. I mean, let's see. Like, oh, hold on. Like, look at that. So I'm going to say this now so that I don't kind of have to like backtrack to it. Shown at New York Comic Con, we had the Premium Collectibles Jet Convoy Optimus Prime museum scale statue. I don't know what size museum scale is, but that's this thing. We'll see some more images of it in a moment. Fan Home 07 Optimus Prime build-up subscription figure. We'll see pictures of a bunch of the Walmart retro stuff. including Bombshell, Ramhorn, Gears, and Bumblebee, as well as a wildly detailed Transformers diorama that was beautiful, but man, gigantic. So is this. This is huge. Very G1 stylized, but I don't hate it. I think it looks really, really cool. I don't really know this company. This looks gigantic, but look at the detail and the paint and the love. How can you not like this, man? Honestly, how can you not like this? That said, look at the size of those wings on this Jetwing lad. I mean, boy, got some big backpack going on. So if you want this and want to display it, it would take a lot of space. I think this is a statue, but I'm not 100% sure on that. As we go down here, let me go past this. Yeah, like you can see, like the hands, the axe, the blaster. I think it's a statue, but it looks beautiful. There's no doubt about it. As we go down, because I don't want to belabor all of that, we see that we got some artwork. I think this is by Marcelo, if I'm not mistaken. That was on. Yeah, it is Marcelo. I'm pretty sure he's well known from IDW. So if you like that comic style, then he had some art there. This is the what was it called? This is the subscription, the build-up subscription Optimus. It's the movie Optimus. I mean, the detail, though, is insane on this. I mean, whether you like this Optimus or not, you got to respect the detail on it. It's not the Optimus for me, but it might be the Optimus for you if you're a big movie fan. Of course, a lot of like interchangeable doodads and accessories and stuff. Again, very large. Like even look at the size of that hand and the individualized fingers on it. This is the retro Bombshell with the gray body and Ramhorn. I mean, it looks great. I like it. I think it turned out well for what it is. Weird 2-pack. But hey, whatever. I'm not in for it because I'm past the G1 reissues and stuff. It's not my bag. But if you're into it, like I get it. I do. This is the Super 7. We talked about this last week, where the background is cardboard. This is obviously plastic. I guess you could stand them up on it. Rocks and sand, and it's a little deserty. This is the retro Optimus from Walmart. Just to be clear, this is the G1 mold, not the Missing Link mold. Some people have the Missing Link cab. They're spending the money again to get this trailer, and they're putting the Missing Link cab with this trailer. That's an expensive racket to get an articulated, cartoon accurate G1 Optimus. But hey, you do you. Again, all of this looks great. I mean, what would you expect? The gears I talked about last week, I think it looks splendid. Obviously, the silver on his chest is now also yellow, with a little bit of the silver on the outer edge. The face is obviously the toy accurate face instead of the cartoon accurate face, but it's a great mold if you don't have it. And I mean, either version looks good. Same with the Bumblebee. This is the Netflix mold, and I remember saying then that I felt like his orangey yellow was off. So I think that this yellow is better. The Autobot logo on his chest is definitely better. Interestingly, while he has the toy accurate head, he has silver eyes, while he has the cartoon accurate head, he has silver eyes, which would be toy accurate instead of blue eyes. I mean, if the forearms were the right shade of yellow, this is a heck of a B. I think it's better than the 86, honestly, because it's rounded. I think the 86 is just too square. I just think I've been saying it all along. But again, that's just me. I know the 86 has been popular. This is the gigantic diorama. It's big, it's detailed, it's stylized. You can see how far it's even sticking off the wall. I love it. But like, look at that Unicron face. What's interesting is he doesn't seem to have facial hair, which is really weird. It's throwing me for a loop. It's like Unicron had a shave, and this is what he looks like underneath. So we're going to get out of that. I'm just going to check in with you guys before we kind of go on here a little bit. A Titan class Big O would be sick. I don't know. Big O. Oh, what's Big O? I don't know what Big O is. What am I missing? I definitely missed something. Get a hold of you. And we will. Everybody always wants to do a live with me, but my time zone is way off. Not to argue, but have a real conversation about Transformers. If you're going to stay childishly stuck in 1984 to 1987, let's not bother because we got 40 years. And I assure you, I'm going to pull out the 40 years because we got 40 years to celebrate. I don't know if we're going to get to 50, but that's another story. Probably going to take a break when I get 86 Devastator. I mean, that's up to you. I'm not getting 86 Devi. The Constructicons, I thought they were going to reveal them at New York, but word is they're going to reveal them on the 27th at the Pulse Premium thing. So expect it next week, I guess. 27th? Is it 27th? Sunday? That seems weird. Okay. I don't know what that Titan would be. I missed that. That Jetwing Optimus is really cool. It is very cool. Is Big O Optimus? Are you talking about a Titan Optimus? Is that what you're talking about? Or am I missing something? Toy over tune. I knew Input was going to say that. Dude, I've been saying ever since the retro stuff has been announced, Input will love this. I think I even said like last week on the show, Input will love these. I figured that you'd be really happy about them, buddy. I really, really did. New Age all the way. And that's coming from a Masterpiece and the Oversized Collector. I don't care for Masterpiece at all. I don't like Masterpiece. I don't think they're well engineered, and I think they're overpriced. But you know what? I'm not an MP guy. If you are, you do you. As for oversized, I wouldn't have the room for it. I mean, kudos to you if you got the room, but I wouldn't have the room for it. Unicron, been using the Barbasol, right? Hey, Batfan, been a while, buddy. Retro Bumblebee should have come with the faceplate. A lot of people say, actually, myself and Transformers Talk Raw talked about it, and I said, maybe a lot of people wouldn't know the toy accurate face. And then I realized on the packaging, the toy accurate face is on the packaging. So I take that criticism back. Matt was right. Yes, you're right. Yes, he should have come with the toy accurate face. I wouldn't want that, but Input would. Hey, Lance, if I didn't say it already, buddy, I got the Mech the Mech Invasion Constructicon 2-pack. That's fair. That's fair. Good. You're not stuck in 84. I'm just not a fan of people taking my ideas. I don't know what that means, but okay. The ads are not by choice. Like, I don't have a choice in that, right? Like, you're aware of that, right? I literally can't go on the live stream without turning it on. So it must be everybody, I guess. Usually I cut them off if I can find them in time to cut them off. Toy over tune versus cartoon over knife fight. Ooh, that's dark. That's dark. I wish that we didn't have to, by the way, have the ads in a live stream. I don't agree with it. I don't like that it's mandatory either. Let's move on to something better with threezero and threezero. We may, by the way, we're going to go back to some New York Comic Con stuff, but let's just take a break for a second. threezero, this is their deluxe, not M Deluxe, their deluxe Age of Extinction lockdown. Whoo, buddy, if you do not know the deluxe stuff from threezero, it is a treat and a sight to behold. It's big, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but it's not something that can transform. It has to be respected. The detail, the mold, the articulation is insane with this stuff. I don't know where you would fit it. The only place I've seen it, and I have seen stuff on display, is there's a local hobby shop, and the owner sometimes has his own personal copies on display and has a note on it, like not for sale, it's there for display. I can't imagine where he puts it in his house. But you know what? If you got the space, more power to him, because they do make phenomenal display pieces. I'm not sure how good they are at like being usable figures, but man, do they display nice. And you can see here, all of this, every angle gorgeous. His ugly mug, his face covered mug, like his gun face, like it's hard not to respect it. I'm not necessarily going to say like it, but respect it. But that's not all that we had from threezero. No, we also had If I can find it here now, hold on. Because I want to get this out of the way. Is it this? Is it this? Yeah, here we go. That's right, this. Yeah. So they're using the Starscream M Deluxe. M Deluxe is there again, for those not in the know, is there like a affordable one, we'll say. I think it's about 50 US, I want to say. About 50 US, about 70 Canadian is what I think is about the price. It's the Starscream mold, obviously, done in a glorious, beautiful green and gray. I mean, I would like to think that they will do Ion Storm and Nova Storm. I would like to think. I think this is named Nova Storm. It's cool that they've done one of the Rainmakers. And while one of them always gets mistaken for Sunstorm, Sunstorm was actually part of the welcoming committee, not one of the Rainmakers. And like, this is a great Sunstorm, right down to the white on the feet and the white on the forearms and hands. So I got to respect that. Again, the detail, the paint, the sculpt, the range of articulation, the accessories. Yeah, it doesn't transform, but man, it's something special about threezero. At least to look at, if nothing else. We saw a couple of images there of the Ramhorn and Bombshell 2-pack. I will note now, apparently that set is out in Canada at Walmart already. I have not seen it. I'm not really interested in it, but I haven't seen it. But it is out in Canada. If it's not out in the US yet, I would think it has to be out soon, I would guess. I also will note I can close this because I already talked about the reissue of Devastator. There was something else here I thought I could close and get out of the way. No, not yet. Okay. Then we have this, and this is quirky, weird, odd, cool. I'm not sure. What do you guys think of this? It is Super 7's Devastator. He stands about 6 inches, so about the same size as their Unicron, in Diaclone colors. What with the oranges, the yellows, and the blues. Very, very weird choice, but at the same time, very unique, very cool. And Super 7 is kind of known for doing some of this unique, cool stuff. I can't be mad at them over it. I'm just a little baffled why they would do it. I don't know if is the market there for this? Do you guys like this? Like, I think I would look at this and be like, it looks a lot like the Tonka Devastator. I don't think Diaclone would enter my mind, but maybe. And I assume that on the packaging somewhere, I would guess that it will indicate that this is Diaclone coloration. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Make of that what you will. And then we have, what is this? No, not that one yet. Not that one yet. Let's do this next. For those friends of ours headed to TFCon, keep your eyes peeled for this. Of course, it is the TFCon exclusive. This is Obsidian Commander from Fans Hobby. Basically, I don't want to say a Nemesis version, because I don't think it's necessarily a Nemesis version, but it's using their Fatimus Prime, their Energon Optimus, with all of his parts and bits and pieces. Maybe it's a Nemesis Prime-esque version. Cool. Looks really cool, I think. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but like, I don't have a hate on for the Energon Optimus, which is weird. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy, but I don't have any hate on for the Energon Optimus. I think it's a neat mold. I think that Fans Hobby done a great job, and I think the vehicle mode here looks good. I think the combined robot mode looks good. I even think here the Fatimus Prime mode looks fine. If you want to use it as a Nemesis, why not? But it is going to be a TFCon exclusive. And recently, through the last several weeks, maybe even several months, we have looked at many an animated figure. especially Optimus and Megatron. We had a whole Optimus week, we had a Megatron week, and then we kind of concluded things off by looking at the Battle Begins 2-pack that had Deluxe Class Earth Mode Optimus and had Deluxe Class Cybertronian Mode Megatron, what with his very weak hips. But this is cool. We often get concept art, and a lot of times it's for whatever the current movie or whatever is, or it's part of the like Marvel Sunbow archives right back to G1. Rarely do we get treated to anything anymore that's animated. And as we look here, like this is obviously an early sketch of Optimus, though I'm not going to lie, I really like the look of this. It is definitely not what we got as the final style for animated, but I think this Optimus looks really cool. I don't know who most of these are. I think that there's a Bulkhead in there, if I'm not mistaken. We do get, as we go through to Jetstorm and Jetfire. Is that what it is? I can't remember now. This, I'm assuming, is Ultra Magnus. Yeah, there you go. There's the Jet Lads. And, of course, another Optimus. Like, it's not a lot, but I think it was cool to see and kind of cute to see where some of this stuff comes from. And then that brings us to the main kind of news item, the main event of the news, which is going to be the official things that were revealed at New York Comic-Con. So let's talk about this first. Okay, so we didn't have a huge set of reveals. We had a few. And we're going to go down here now. And we're going to start with Hatchet. Now, I think most of us that have these molds will say that the Dreads, Berserker, Crowbar, Crankcase weren't great. They really weren't that great. The molds are finicky, hard to transform. I think that Berserker might be the better out of the set. It's hard to say. However, conspicuous by his absence was indeed the four-legged fiend known as Hatchet. And rumor had it that Hatchet was going to be part of a multi-pack, which really disappointed yours truly. If I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a pound. And where I have the rest of the Dreads, it only seemed fitting to have Hatchet. So I actually will want Hatchet, if for no other reason than to complete the Dreads. And again, turns into that Suburban. I hope his transformation is better than the rest. There he is in package. Then we have Double Punch. I thought it was going to be the blue one, but I think that had a different name, which I don't remember right now. There's the like purple coloration that is actually Scorponok, and now this red one is Double Punch. I don't know this mold. I might get Double Punch for it. Why not? Possibly if I see it. I don't think I'm going to I'm not pre-ordering it or nothing. I think I'm done with pre-orders. I think I'm done pre-ordering stuff. For the most part anyway. He looks cool, no doubt about it. Then we have Galvatron, and I look at this, and I looked at the first image. When I saw the first images, which I talked about, I may have talked about earlier the week, not last week, but earlier the week, I said, man, that looks like indigo blue. Don't like it. Showed it to my wife, and she was like, why is Galvatron blue? Looking at those ones that were part of that presentation. And then we got these images, and I said, it's a little more purple than what I thought it was, but we're going to kind of revisit Galvatron in a few moments. So let's go past Galvatron for a moment and pop ourselves down here to Skywarp. And I don't think anyone is surprised. I mean, we got the Starscream. If you're in for the Warp for Cybertron Seekers, you need Thundercracker, you need Skywarp. This is a great looking Skywarp. I like the look of this Skywarp better in terms of the color, better than the Deluxe Class 1 that we got years ago. I thought that both the Takara and the Hasbro were off in their coloration of that one. So I think that this is the best War for Cybertron Skywarp we've gotten. Love the look of this. Really, really, really impressed. I don't know how good or poor the mold is, but I love the look of this. And purple is my favorite color. So make of that what you will. Now, Let's go back to Galvatron because he's definitely the top story of the night. And when I saw this, I said, okay, it's a little more purple, but it's still a little too blue for me. And then I started seeing the debates people were having. And people said, well, this is the color he was in the film. This is the color he was in season 3. And I was like, no, he's not. Not on my copy of the film. Not on my copy of the original Transformers series when I watched season 3. But then I started thinking about it more. And I looked at it and I said, first I thought the gray was a warm gray, but it seems like it's a bit more of a cool gray here. The fusion cannon being solid orange, yes, that's definitely more animation accurate. There's no doubt about it. I saw it in the box and I was like, it looks all right, but I don't think I need to be in for it. So let's just close this one for a second. Now, let's have this conversation now and kind of get it out of the way. This is my kingdom. I cleaned the dirt off of his chest and stuff because I didn't like it. If you didn't like it on his chest and you didn't like it down here, I didn't clean it off down here because I got this in Kingdom. The Legacy one came out clean, nice and clean. And then they even did a gray version in Selects. That one also quite good. Some people use it as just comic book Galvatron. Some use it as specifically as Galvatron too, right? And of course, this mold has been used for Straxus. So this will be the 5th time getting this mold. When I got this, I said, yeah, this is the purple I remember. And when I look at like my DVDs and stuff, that's pretty much the purple that he is in most episodes. It's the purple he is on my copy of the film. I did notice that he was not perfect. There's a little red detail that's often painted in his crown. It's molded in there, but not painted red. I painted it red. His hip skirts, they got the red on the bottom, but there's also supposed to be red on the top. I colored the 3 buttons red. The treads should be black with some silver detail, so I left that. I prefer this purple. I prefer him having silver. And I even added the red up here on the shoulder pylons because he should have the red on the shoulder pylons. And the red down on his belt buckle, we'll call it. If you don't like this purple or you think it's the other shade of purple, fine. If you prefer the more matte gray over the silver up here and the silver on his face and the silver on his particle cannon, I was going to say fusion cannon, particle cannon, cool. I get that. So for me, I don't see a need to upgrade. To me, like this is what I think of when I think of Galvatron in terms of coloration. But then these images cropped up. Here. And I looked at these and I thought to myself, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the, funny enough, Unique Toys Mania King Vintage Color Edition, because the colors are a little more muted, a little more washed out. And that's what I'm seeing here. Now, I have that Vintage Edition one, and I preferred his fusion can or his particle cannon because it had more orange on it than the white that was mostly on the original copies version. But I was never, ever happy with the purple on that one because I thought he should have the deeper purple. So I looked at this and I thought, in comparing the two, I said, this guy's Decepticon symbol's a little pinkish. This one is definitely more purple. I like that. He would need the red on his belt buckle. He would need the red up on the shoulder pylons. I like the orange. Yeah, okay. I do think somebody said they should have got rid of these 2 other like blaster pieces and given them blast effects. I agree with that. I looked here. Some people wondered if he has a new face sculpt. I don't think he does. I think that the light and the angles are just hitting it differently, where it's now more of a matte gray than the silver. So I don't think it's a new face sculpt. It could be, but I don't think so. I had been concerned that his treads were going to be the wrong color. In fact, I thought anything that's black on the Kingdom Legacy might be too light here, but I don't think so now. I think that this It's not quite black. It's more like a super dark gray, but I think that it still works. And I think the treads are the right color now. And looking at this, I'm like, yeah, the treads look fine. He looks fine. No problem. No issues. And of course, I saw these and I was like, he looks a little too blue here again. I'm not sure what to think of this purple at this time. Here's what I will say. I don't think this is something that I personally would double dip for, only because it would be another $80 for essentially a new hat. You know what I mean? I don't think I need to. But if you feel the need to, or you skipped, or you feel this is more accurate, then I get it. The more I've thought about it, the more I kind of land here and say, this is no different than what we got with 86 Scourge and the sweeps. When you look at both of those color schemes, they're quite different. Scourges is definitely different than what we got with the sweep, with the brighter blues and stuff. But depending on the animation and the cells that you look at, depending on the settings, and I'm looking over here because I have a TV over here, depending on the settings on your TV or on your computer and your white balance and your color saturation and all of that stuff, Scourge could be the correct color scheme for him and the sweeps, but the sweep could be the correct color scheme for him and or for them and Scourge. I think they're both right or they're both wrong. I feel the same way about Galvatron. I think this is right, but guess what? I also think the 86 is right. For different reasons, right? For different reasons. This is what I think of. This is the deep, dark purple that I think of, especially the scene. I'll even tell you the main scene that makes me think of this purple. You know, when, is it Five Faces of Darkness or is it the movie? I can't remember. But the end of, I want to say the end of a scene, you can see like the sparks on his like crown and stuff, where like he's a little messed up in the head now. I want to say it's Five Faces of Darkness. The purple on him in that episode is this purple. And that's what I think of when I think of Galvatron. But you might think of something different. So I don't think that this is a case of we need to argue about it. I think this is a case of both are excellent. Choose which color scheme works best for you. If you're happy with the Kingdom or the Legacy, I don't see a need to get this. I really don't see a need to spend another leader class price point for a different color. But if you know, here's the other side of it though. If you like that color scheme, I would say get it. And if you want to make up the money, I bet that you can easily sell your Kingdom or your Legacy, no problem. You might not get full value for it, but I bet you could sell it no problem, because there are people like me that'll say that's the correct color. Neither are wrong. They're just varying degrees of awesome. That's my take on it anyway. I'm going to check in with you guys and then check through the news, because we do have an important piece of news to talk about. And then we'll go on from there. And if I skip stuff, I apologize, guys, because I'm just trying to watch my time here. I want to make a OC based off of my truck, then make one. Oh, I did see it, Blue, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. This week has been nuts. I know it's there, but I haven't had a chance to actually see it yet, my man. Don't worry, I will, but I haven't had a chance yet. When I do, I'll write you back, but I just haven't had a chance yet. Toys over Toon, Cartoon is King knife fight. Got to do it on the high seas, though. I guess ads help the channel, but like I don't like them interrupting the show is all. First time I was really divided over Toon and toy accuracy with the Unite Warriors CW Computron sets. I get that. I absolutely get that. I went with the Combiner Wars version because I wanted scrounge, honestly, and I like the hands and feet better. But I understand people going the Unite Warriors route for sure. AOE Lockdown looks cool. He does. He really does. YouTube is a small company that needs that ad money. That's, yeah, right. The Retro Bumblebee doesn't have the Goldbug toy head because it creates compatibility issues with the alt mode. The neck has a collar. Huh, interesting. I never thought about that. All of the threezero look amazing. Yeah, I mean, threezero. And I tell you, pictures and video and reviews don't do it justice. If you ever get the chance to see one in hand, do yourself a favor. They're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, Zoran. What? Did you pre-order your animated 40th anniversary Prime from Walmart yet? No, and I'm not. I'm not pre-ordering anymore. B, I don't want it. It's just a G1 Optimus. I'm well beyond that. I have 86 Optimus. I have zero interest in it. I have zero interest in any of the reissue stuff. I want the articulation. I wanted it 40 years ago. I was never happy with the G1 stuff. I always wanted it to be better. We get that now. So I'm a G1 fan, but I was never that blown away with the toys. So no, I don't, Zoran. Hope you do if you want it, my man. Why is threezero giving us a damn sandstorm, but we can't get one from Hasbro? I've asked that question a lot too, honestly. I got the set here in Hamilton. I can't confirm its arrival. Oh, well, there you go. It's in Canada. There you go. It's not for me. If you got it and you're happy with it, I'm happy for you, my man. We stopped getting the reissue stuff here on shelves. Ooh, it's Starscream. Starscream. And I don't mean, no, that's a lie. We did get the cartoon accurate Hound and the cartoon accurate Perceptor and the cartoon accurate Skywarp. We did get those three. So I stand corrected. Like I said, it's not for me, but if you're in Canada, they're also out here. I know that they're out in the US. Hey, Bing Bong, have to say I've had a couple after work beers, and I'm just really happy to be able to talk to you guys about it. Well, you know what? Listen, man, it's Thursday night. You do what suits you, buddy. Hey, Mega J. Canada is a funny place. Sometimes we get figures really early. Other times it takes forever. I don't get figures early. I'm in Newfoundland. We don't get nothing early. I don't know where you are, but we don't get jack early. With us money hungry, Hasbro, do you think a Sunstorm repaint would be a shoe? I think it would be a shoe-in too, honestly. Or never. That's a good point. Sometimes we never get them, especially if it's exclusive stuff. Remember Brainstorm, guys? Anybody in Canada here now? Remember Brainstorm? Like, I got mine. I had to get it from the US because we never did get it. I think we might have got it when the retro ones finally came. But back when they first came out in 2017, we had no way to get it. You would think because it was a Walgreens exclusive, but I don't think that at the time they had the association with GameStop where the Walgreens stuff went to GameStop. I don't think they had that there because it never came here. Devastator's my favorite, but I don't like it. Not a fan. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm not a big fan of the weird Diaclone colors either. And I don't like the yellow Devastator. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. TFCon's always had exclusives. Usually it's either Fans Project or Fans Hobby nowadays, or Ocular Max. They always have exclusives. Fans Hobby Grand Scourge. Yeah, kind of. You're not wrong. It is like Grand Scourge. You're absolutely right, Marcus. Can't go around with a Black Optimus. Gotta run. Take care, Matt. Let's go down here. I'm freaking out on the Hatchet. I'm not freaking out, but I'm glad that we're getting them, though. A Crazy Bolt would be cool. Yeah, I'd be down for a Crazy Bolt. Not a movie collector, but Hatchet does look cool. And that's fair. I mean, I went in with Berserker, and then I was like, well, if I got Berserker, I need Crankcase. If I got Crankcase, I need Crowbar. If I got Crowbar, I need Hatchet. It snowballed. One thing became another. Either I don't want to start it, or if I start it, I'm in, right? That's the way I kind of look at it. The War for Cybertron Skywar Purple just does not capture the game's look. That's fair. I understand that, but I do think that it's a better coloration than what we got with the Generations one. Really not a fan of that Gamer Edition Seeker Mold. No, a lot of people aren't. And I don't have it, so I really can't speak to it that way, right? Galvatron Schmutz. I don't have it on mine anymore. Like I said, I removed it. I thought about taking it off his ankles, and I was like, doesn't bother me down there. I could. I just don't care enough to. I like the deeper purple. The 86 one looks almost blue. That's the criticism some people have said, but some people prefer that and say, well, in the movie, he looked kind of blue. I didn't see it, but I mean, again, depends on what copy you got or your screen saturation or whatever, right? So I understand where they're coming from. There was a scan in the 86 movie at the end when Galvatron was fighting Rodimus. He looked blue. See, again, to you, he looked blue. Whatever copy you've watched. Just the ones that I've seen, he's been purple, right? Somebody trade Mania King for my Gents Lex. Somebody trade Mania King for your Gents Lex. You mean the gray Galvatron? That's actually not a bad trade, honestly. Because you can use, like I said, you could use it as Galvatron too. It's not a bad trade, really. How many repaints will Hasbro release of 86 Devi? I don't know. How do you repaint them, really? You know, when Fans Toys did their Galvatron, the first one was more purple, what? And the movie repaint was more bluish. So right. Ooh. Blurple. There you go. Yeah, Grimlock Gone got it. Blurple. I like that. Oh, actually, I see that Mark is also called it Blurple. Yeah. I think 86 Galvatron matches most of the space scenes from the movie more. See, again, I can't argue with you. Whatever copy you've seen, sure, but it's not the way it appears on my screen. On my screen, he's purple. He's a deep purple. Maybe it's my settings. Maybe it's the DVD I got. I don't know. But I've never seen this blue that people are talking about. It's just not what I've seen. But I think it's a settings thing. Won't argue about the color, but I'll definitely argue the ones who are demanding a new mold. Yeah, it's no need to do a new mold. That's silly. The mold we got is phenomenal. 86 Optimus Prime in white, Return of Optimus Prime, white deck. Oh, don't give them ideas. I missed the live stream opening again. We not beautiful. Oh, no, you are beautiful. Don't worry, Timmy. You're always beautiful, buddy. Purple usually doesn't capture accurately on most cameras. And that's the other thing. Purple's a hard one to kind of catch anyway. How many different shades of purple have we seen used, for example, with Astro Train? You know, right? I mean, to each their own. I don't think it's worth arguing about it. I would just say be glad that we have multiple versions of Galvatron. Pick the one that suits the best for you. For me, I think it's the Kingdom. But if you think it's the gray one, get the Selects. If you think it's this bluish one, get the 86. It's a fantastic mold. Really fantastic mold. If you've skipped all the other versions, get the 86. Okay, let's just very quickly run through this news here and do the trivia unboxing. Get out of here. All right. So we talked about the Super 7 Devi. Nobody likes it. TFCon Baltimore, we talked about the fans hobby stuff. By the way, I will also note that if you haven't already heard and you're going there, Manny Gallon. He is a G2 comics artist. He was also the guy who was behind like all the Transformers commercials. He is going to be a guest there. Jessica Digiovanni. I don't know how to say her name. She was Cyberverse Cosmos and Windblade, as well as War for Cybertron RC. She's going to be there. And the legendary Bob Budiansky is going to be there as well. We talked about the 86 Galvatron, the Skywarp, the Hatchet, and the Double Punch. We talked about where Transformers 1 currently stands profit-wise, and the threezero Lockdown, the animated concept art. Symbiote Studios, they showed off more images of their Sludge and their Grimlock version 3. They look cute, you know. Actually, they also showed their Bumblebee and their Rumble and Frenzy. We talked about the retro Bombshell and Ramhorn, the Acid Storm, the Sunstorm, the Mandalorian thing, the premium collectibles, Jet Convoy Optimus statue, the retro stuff. And that brings us to the last bit of news, which is more Hasbro layoffs. So it was announced that it looks like Hasbro is doing another round of layoffs. It's already started with John Warden himself. I say good riddance. I'm sorry. I had two guys who like jumped down my throat. One of them was like, you know, I have my whole collection because of John Warden. He's wonderful. You're balding. I'm like, what does me being almost 50 with thinning hair have to do with anything? Warden's a corporate shill. I didn't like him in 2015. I can't stomach looking at him or listening to him. I was glad when he left. People that are fans of Power Rangers said that he pretty much flushed that franchise down the toilet. They brought him back to G.I. Joe and Transformers. I eye rolled. The guy who said he has his whole collection said, Warden's done amazing things from Siege to now. I'm like, you realize that Warden was gone for years. He done Siege and Earthrise up to Slitherfang. And then he was gone. Left some designs behind. But it's been Mark Marr who's really done the legacy stuff and been the lead there. And not even Mark so much as his communications with a lot of the Takara designers. So, no, that's not Warden. As well, the Studio Series stuff has really been Evan's baby for the most part. So, no, that's not Warden. I don't know why people go crazy like this. And I had another guy say, boycott GotBot's channel. He finds, joy in other people's misery. You don't know that Warden's miserable. As a matter of fact, he had a whole thing on social media talking about his love for the whole thing, his love for the company. I mean, it was a nice send-off for a guy that I haven't had a lot of respect for, to be very honest. He's been there for 25 years. Either he's going to find another job, no problem, because the dude's an engineer. Or I'm willing to bet that he's saved a lot, probably got a good pension and a hefty severance package, and is probably going to retire. I think John Warden will be fine. I'm just glad he's not in Transformers anymore. I'm a G1 guy, but you had to notice that after he left, that is when you started getting Unicron trilogy stuff, RID 2001 stuff, animated stuff. You didn't have that under Warden because he didn't see any value in it. I make this comparison. I'm a fan of wrestling. I think WWE is infinitely better under Triple H than it was with Vince McMahon. I think that the people that they've had bringing in other eras of the franchise is the way to go. Bringing Warden back in is just the same old tired mind with the same old tired ideas. Good riddance. Go away. I hope I never see you again. I do not like when people lose their jobs. I'm not concerned about an upper management guy who probably got a hefty retirement and severance package. I'm worried about all of the more lower workers. Last year, they laid off 1,000 and then 1,500 more, which was reducing their workforce from 6,600 way down, man, by 2,500. It's not that their customer service is great. It's not that their production is wonderful. It's not that their QC checks have been great. Let's lay off a bunch of people. And now it looks like it's happening again. But why now? Why now in October? Why before the holiday season? Well, coming up very soon is going to be their next Q3 investors call. And 2023 was not a good year for Hasbro. Overall sales were down 20%, even though Transformers were artificially inflated and up because of inflated prices that should not be the price of things. And they had a rough 2023, losing $3 billion in value and really kind of teetering on losing another $2 billion in company value. If you look at the trend of their stock, it goes up and down a little bit. Yesterday, for example, at closing, it was down. After close of trading, it had a little spike back up. But here's the kicker. Chris Cox, since he took over as CEO, has said, curmudgeon, but not mean. Chris Cox has said since he took over as CEO, I'm going to promise you, our investors, a 20% profit. Currently, Hasbro is sitting at a 13% profit. And sales are still declining. And one has underperformed. I'm telling you now, he is looking to bolster the Q3 corporate call. He's not going to have a 20% rate. So when you can't get the profit rate that you have promised, what do? You tout that you have reduced expenditures. And what's the easiest way to reduce expenditures? Lay people off. I think that this is being done 100% to try and make it look good to investors on the Q3 call. I'll be very interested to see how that call goes. For the record, it's not all bad news. Q1 and Q2 overperformed, which is good. They desperately need it. But if you look at the 5-year trend, they're not overperforming enough. Let's see where it goes. I am concerned about the longevity of Hasbro, and I'm concerned that as we march toward 50 years of Transformers, if the franchise can last that long. Let's do the trivia. Are we ready? Snake Eyes movie didn't help. Nope, you're right. It absolutely didn't help. Which, you know what? I didn't mind the Snake Eyes movie. We watched it. My wife hated it. Not for nothing. Okay. In IDW, the Wreckers were formed by Threnody. And the earliest iteration within the IDW universe is the 11th iteration of the Wreckers, led by Crest. And they initially tangled with Black Shadow. Cool. But in Marvel G1, the Wreckers were formed by Emirat Zeran, and the first leader was Impactor. However, who was their first arranged mission? Their first target? Was it A, Flame? Was it B, Tranus? Was it C, Shockwave? Or was it D, Straxus? Who was, in Marvel G1, who was the first mission that Emirat Zeran sent the Wreckers to accomplish? Eliminate Flame, eliminate Tranus, eliminate Shockwave, or eliminate Straxus? A, B, C, or D, my friends? We got a D, we got a C, we got a Shockwave. Answer, of course, is inputs Q. As we know, we have a D. We have guessing B. Marcus says B. The answer, my friends, is yes, B. Tranus. After Megatron left and him and a bunch of Decepticons got lost in space, Tranus kind of filled the void and came in to sort of lead the Decepticons, but he was lazy. Lazy, but brutal. And he did conquer a lot of Cybertron. In fact, the High Council actually surrendered to him, except for Emirat Zeran, and then he subsequently executed all of the High Council members. Zeran formed the Wreckers and sent them to take out Tranus. I don't know if that was a good thing, though, because once Tranus was taken out, the next guy to fill the void that was left was Straxus, and we all know how he treats those who enter Polyhex. Flame is just a sad story of power gone mad. Okay, let's do the unboxing. Get out of here. I think this is to improve Q4 and year end, and it might be in part to do that as well. But the immediate goal will be Q3. But I don't think you're wrong, Ash. I don't think you're wrong at all. Okay, let's do the unboxing. Get out of here. The first thing isn't even mine. The first thing belongs to Starscream wife, but I'm going to show it anyway because some time ago I was given this. It is one of the little squeezlings, and this is Optimus Prime, and he is cute and he is bendy. But they changed the way that they've done the squeezlings, and my wife, who really, really loves dinosaurs, picked up Grimlock. And you know what? The paint on him is pretty good. He's a lot harder material, a ton harder material. So yeah, the little squeezlings, Grimlock, that's my wife's. That's cute. That's cool. I like that. But for me, I have this box. And in this box, Mayhem, Attack, Squadron, Doom, and Destruction. With Ruckus and with Bludgeon. Now, that being said, here's Ruckus. Love him. Of all three of the Trigger Cons, he is by far the best. By far. The only issue I have with him, and I think that this is a me issue, not a mold issue or a him issue, is when I try to fold up the legs and lock them in on the arms, I find that tolerance to be rough. It's an adaptation of the Beachcomber mold, but boy, oh boy, really, really impressed. Then we have this, of course, the Bludgeon. This is Stormbringer Bludgeon, but I'm not going to use it as Bludgeon. I'm not even going to use, I'm going to use this as a completely different character, but I'm not going to tell you guys who that character is. I'll talk about it when we do the review, which will be tomorrow. No. Tomorrow will be the GoBots Trio. This will be Tuesday's review. Unless you're a patron or channel member. If you're a patron or channel member, I'm going to do a first impressions of these on the weekend. But the full review will be next week. So yes, the last of that set, the last of that trio of Trigger Cons, and that Bludgeon, who's going to be a completely different character, not even going to be part of the Mayhem Attack Squadron. I got the Hunt for the Decepticons Bludgeon for that. This guy's actually going to be a part of my Star Seekers crew. Anyway, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to get out of here. You guys have been very active. Those of you who went to New York Comic Con, I hope you had a blast. Those of you heading to TFCon, man, have fun. I know there will be some live streams and stuff going on all weekend. I'm pretty sure Ultra Megatronus has one coming up himself later on. Check it out. Have a fantastic weekend. And I'm going to batten down the hatches for some heavy, heavy rain. Also, I'm going to note this right now. Please spread the word around. We will not be doing the live show next Thursday. We will come back here, and you and I are going to have our visit next Tuesday, because next Wednesday, myself, Starscream wife, our oldest, and his girlfriend actually are going to a showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like a theater type of showing. And then, of course, Thursday itself is going to be Halloween. I just don't want to be trying to do the live show with the doorbell and stuff ringing. So we're going to do next Tuesday. Please spread the word. Next Tuesday, our usual time. And yeah, then we'll go back to our Thursday schedule from there. So from now until Tuesday, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, man. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And please don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, baby, or Tuesday nights, as next week will be, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, right here inside the videos. Maybe that 2-pack will be next Thursday.